A $2 grocery store seed completely reverses irreversible memory loss. Yet the dementia industry has spent billions of dollars perfectly burying this biological fact since the late 1980s. Every single time you forget a cherished name, misplace your glasses, or lie awake paralyzed by the terrifying shadow of Alzheimer's, you are playing right into a massive, heavily guarded medical trap designed to keep your mind declining and your wallet bleeding out. There is a permanent, biologically proven solution sitting right now in your kitchen pantry, completely ignored. You have been systematically trained by medical elites to believe that cognitive decline is just a normal, sad part of getting older, an inevitable slipping away of your humanity. That is the single most expensive, destructive lie ever told in modern medicine. Today, that lie completely ends. I am going to expose exactly what this ordinary, overlooked seed is, how it systematically flushes out the toxic protein sludge suffocating your delicate neurons, and how it forces your dying brain to physically grow brand new, healthy neural pathways overnight. To truly understand why you have been kept in the dark about this miraculous seed, you have to look deeply into the cold, horrifying economics of the modern memory care industry. Think about the infrastructure of cognitive decline. The medical establishment does not profit from a cured mind. They profit from a managed, slowly deteriorating patient. The memory care sector in the Western world is a staggering multi-billion-dollar machine built entirely on the foundation of your family's profound grief. Nursing homes, locked assisted living facilities, specialized dementia wards, and a never-ending, highly lucrative conveyor belt of experimental, incredibly expensive prescription drugs that come with a terrifying laundry list of debilitating side effects. They are systematically harvesting your entire life savings, completely draining your family's hard-earned inheritance, all while offering you absolutely nothing but false hope and clinical, inevitable decline. It costs an average of $9,000 to $12,000 a month to lock a human being in a secure memory care facility. Why on earth would the pharmaceutical executives ever want you to heal safely at home for $2 a week? Back in the 1980s, a series of quiet, groundbreaking studies were conducted on a specific, highly potent organic compound found abundantly in this cheap seed. The independent clinical researchers discovered something that sent absolute shockwaves through the back rooms of pharmaceutical boardrooms. They watched in real time under high-powered electron microscopes as this specific natural compound effortlessly crossed the blood-brain barrier and began completely dissolving the very plaques responsible for cognitive suffocation. It did not just stop the cellular damage, it violently reversed it. It triggered profound, undeniable neurogenesis. So, what happened to this world-changing research? It was buried, defunded instantly, swept entirely under the rug, and aggressively, systematically discredited by the very medical institutions sworn by oath to protect public health. The industry elite realized immediately that they could not patent a wildly abundant, unpatentable natural seed. They could not legally monopolize it. They could not charge desperate families thousands of dollars a month for something you can buy in bulk for pocket change at any local market. So they engaged in a ruthless, multi-decade campaign of absolute suppression. They aggressively labeled natural alternative remedies as dangerous quackery. They funded highly biased, mathematically flawed counter-studies designed explicitly to fail. They successfully brainwashed generations of well-meaning general practitioners into dismissing nutritional neuroscience entirely out of hand. Every single time you ask your traditional doctor about natural, holistic remedies for memory loss, watch their physical reaction closely. They will give you a patronizing, dismissive smile. They will tell you to just do more crossword puzzles, eat a few more blueberries, get better sleep, and dutifully take their expensive, highly toxic prescription pills. They are blindly reading from a corporate script written by pharmaceutical lobbyists who profit immensely off your family's ultimate tragedy. Now, before I reveal the precise biological mechanism of this incredible seed compound and exactly how you can start using it correctly tonight, I must legally state that this presentation is strictly for informational and educational purposes only. It is not intended to replace the direct one-on-one advice of your personal physician or act as a legal substitute for professional medical diagnosis. Always consult with your healthcare provider before altering your health regimen or stopping any medication. But I strongly urge you to ask yourself in this exact moment, has their standard, highly expensive medical advice actually protected your brilliant mind, or has it just kept you trapped, terrified, and utterly dependent on their failing, profitable system? Let us dive incredibly deep into the devastating microscopic biology of what is actually happening inside your skull right now, and why this aggressively ignored seed is the only logical biological answer to your suffering. Your brain is essentially a highly complex, beautifully intricate electrical supercomputer. For decades of your life, it fires billions of microscopic electrical impulses flawlessly across a vast, wet network of gray and white matter. But as we age, under the relentless daily assault of modern processed diets, invisible environmental toxins, heavy metal exposure, and chronic unrelenting stress, a terrifying biological glitch begins to occur deep within your tissue. Your brain's natural, highly specialized waste disposal system, known to science as the glymphatic system, begins to catastrophically fail. Imagine the complex plumbing system in a massive, sprawling metropolis suddenly and completely backing up all at once. Toxic waste proteins, specifically sticky beta-amyloid plaques and twisted tau tangles, begin to accumulate rapidly in the empty spaces between your brain cells. They clump together like a thick, suffocating biological glue. These hardened plaques wrap incredibly tightly around your delicate, firing neurons. They physically, literally block the delicate electrical signals from jumping from one neural synapse to the next. This is exactly why you walk confidently into a room and instantly, maddeningly forget why you are there. The electrical signal carrying that specific memory literally hit a hardened wall of toxic protein sludge and died in transit. It was blocked. At the exact same time this sludge is building up, a secondary, even more terrifying nightmare is unfolding deep within your cerebral cortex: chronic, raging neuroinflammation. Your brain's native immune cells, called microglia, suddenly recognize this massive toxic sludge buildup as a foreign, dangerous invader and go into absolute biological overdrive. They begin releasing a relentless toxic storm of inflammatory cytokines directly into your brain tissue. Your brain is quite literally on fire, slowly and agonizingly burning away its own healthy tissue from the inside out. This localized, microscopic fire completely destroys the hippocampus, the exact anatomical center of your memory formation and spatial navigation. Traditional prescription drugs completely and utterly fail because they are like trying to put out a roaring 5-alarm chemical fire with a child's plastic water pistol. They might slightly dampen the flames for a fleeting, temporary moment, giving you a false sense of clarity, but they do absolutely nothing to clear out the massive piles of toxic fuel, and they certainly do not magically rebuild the burnt-out, destroyed framework of your mind. This is exactly where the mystery seed steps in with miraculous, laser-like biological precision. The active compound hidden inside this seed contains a highly active, extraordinarily rare botanical chemical structure that possesses a nearly unique molecular weight and perfect lipid solubility. This specific molecular geometry allows it to achieve what almost no synthetic pharmaceutical drug can safely do. It effortlessly, safely, and completely penetrates the highly restrictive, heavily guarded blood-brain barrier. Once inside your brain tissue, it acts like a microscopic, highly trained molecular demolition crew. It actively seeks out beta-amyloid plaques, binds directly to their chemical structure, and systematically dismantles them piece by piece, breaking down the sticky, rigid protein chains so your body can finally flush them out naturally through your newly reactivated glymphatic system. But the biological miracle does not stop at mere demolition and cleanup. Once the toxic sludge is completely cleared out of the way, this specific seed compound triggers a massive, systemic, and highly aggressive upregulation of a vital brain protein called brain-derived neurotrophic factor, or BDNF. BDNF is literal biological miracle-gro for your aging, dying brain. It signals your dormant neural stem cells to wake up and begin rapidly dividing, generating entirely new, perfectly healthy neurons. It forces your existing, damaged neurons to sprout brand new dendrites, physically building fresh, robust neural pathways to permanently bypass the old, irreparably damaged ones. It aggressively extinguishes the microglial fire, shutting down the chronic neuroinflammation at the deepest genetic, cellular level. You are not just stopping memory loss, you are biologically turning back the physical clock on your brain's age and aggressively restoring the structural integrity of your mind. The absolute miracle compound I am talking about is deeply hidden inside the protective outer hull of Nigella Sativa, commonly known worldwide as the black seed or black cumin seed. But stop right there. Do not rush to your kitchen cabinet or local health food store and start blindly swallowing standard mass-produced black seed oil or eating handfuls of processed seeds. If you do that, You will completely fail, you will waste your money, and you will fall right back into the devastating, inevitable cycle of cognitive decline. You see, the medical elite absolutely love to point out that holistic remedies lack clinical potency. They use this exact argument as an excuse to dismiss them entirely, and if you use standard, mass-produced, chemically processed, heat-extracted grocery store black seed products, they are absolutely right. The active, brain-saving, neuroregenerative compound inside Nigella Sativa is called Thymoquinone. Thymoquinone is an incredibly volatile, highly sensitive phytochemical. In cheap commercial black seed oil or heavily processed powders sitting in clear glass bottles on store shelves, the actual living thymoquinone content has been completely oxidized, destroyed by UV light, and utterly eradicated by the extreme industrial heat used during commercial extraction. You are essentially consuming dead, rancid oil that does absolutely nothing for your brain. This is exactly what the industry wants you to do. Try the dead version incorrectly, see absolutely no cognitive results, and give up in complete despair, running back to their expensive prescriptions? To actively harness and protect the raw neuroregenerative power of thymoquinone, you must engage in a very specific, scientifically precise extraction and biological delivery protocol. You must completely bypass the destruction of oxidation and trick your blood-brain barrier into absorbing it at maximum capacity. First, you must source raw, completely unheated, whole organic Nigella sativa seeds. They must be sourced from high-altitude, mineral-rich soils, preferably from organic farms in Ethiopia or specific regions of Turkey, where the natural thymoquinone concentration is biologically proven to be over 4 times higher than anywhere else on Earth. The seeds must be jet black, perfectly intact, and sharply aromatic. Second, you cannot simply chew them or swallow them whole. Your digestive tract cannot effectively break down the dense, fibrous hull of the seed fast enough to extract the volatile oils before they are passed through your system as waste. You must physically cold crush them immediately prior to consumption. You absolutely need a heavy, natural stone mortar and pestle. Never use an electric metal coffee grinder or blender, as the high-speed metal blades instantly generate microscopic heat that instantly vaporizes and destroys the delicate thymoquinone molecules upon contact. Furthermore, even freshly crushed thymoquinone needs a biological carrier to aggressively pull it across the blood-brain barrier. The brain requires massive amounts of glucose to function, and the blood-brain barrier is lined with highly active GLUT1 transporters constantly searching for pure sugars to pull into the brain tissue. You are going to use a biological Trojan horse technique. You must bind the freshly crushed black seeds strictly to raw, unfiltered, completely unpasteurized, high MGO Manuka honey, or a very dark raw buckwheat honey. The raw honey provides the exact glucose matrix required to trick the brain's transporters into actively pulling the healing thymoquinone directly into your cerebral cortex. Here is the exact, unalterable preparation ritual you must rigorously follow every single morning to systematically rebuild your mind. Every single morning, exactly upon waking, completely fasted on an empty stomach before you have consumed any coffee, water, or food, you will create the Neurogenesis matrix. Place exactly 1 flat teaspoon of your high-potency, organic Ethiopian whole black seeds into your stone mortar. Using firm, steady, circular pressure with the stone pestle, crush the seeds for exactly 2 minutes. You will immediately smell a sharp, pungent, deeply medicinal aroma filling the air. That is the living, highly volatile thymoquinone being instantly released from its cellular prison. Do not crush them into a fine dust. You want a rough, oily, heavily cracked meal. The very second you finish crushing the seeds, you must instantly scrape them out using a wooden spoon, never metal, as metal ions can rapidly oxidize the volatile compounds, and immediately drop them into a small ceramic dish. Instantly cover the crushed seeds with exactly 1/2 tablespoon of your raw, unfiltered Manuka or buckwheat honey. Use the wooden spoon to fold the honey and the crushed seeds together aggressively until it forms a thick, dark, sticky paste. You are not just mixing a snack, you are biologically encapsulating the highly volatile thymoquinone deep inside the dense, protective glucose matrix of the raw honey, perfectly shielding it from stomach acid and preparing it for rapid neurological transport. You will now consume this dark matrix directly from the wooden spoon, but you absolutely must not chew it and swallow it quickly. You must place the entire thick paste directly under your tongue. You must hold it there, allowing your natural salivary enzymes to begin breaking down the raw honey, absorbing the thymoquinone sublingually directly through the massive, highly permeable blood vessels located under your tongue. This allows a massive percentage of the compound to completely bypass the harsh, acidic destruction of the stomach and the aggressive first-pass metabolism of your liver, entering your bloodstream instantly and traveling straight up the jugular vein directly to your brainstem. Hold it under your tongue for at least 60 seconds before finally swallowing the remaining fibrous paste. Do not eat or drink anything else for at least 30 straight minutes to allow total, uninterrupted biological absorption. When you rigorously commit to consuming this exact hyper-optimized biological formulation, the physical and cognitive effects are not going to take grueling years. They are not going to take agonizing months of painful waiting. The profound biological shift inside your skull begins in mere hours. When you hold the dark matrix under your tongue, it completely bypasses the digestive destruction, sliding effortlessly into your bloodstream. Day 1 is characterized by a strange, sudden, almost miraculous lifting of deep cranial pressure. Many thousands of people describe it as if a thick, heavy, suffocating gray veil they didn't even realize was blinding them has suddenly and violently been ripped back from their consciousness. The persistent, heavy, sluggish brain fog that usually plagues your difficult mornings will be entirely, inexplicably absent. You will immediately notice a sharp, crisp, almost beautifully youthful clarity in your immediate surroundings. Colors may suddenly appear slightly more vivid, the edges of objects sharper, and your ability to focus entirely on a single complex daily task without getting frustrated, distracted, or overwhelmed will drastically and noticeably improve. This is the absolute, immediate biological effect of the rampant, raging neuroinflammation being violently extinguished in real time. The rogue microglial cells in your brain have finally stopped attacking your own healthy tissue and have been forced to rapidly return to a calm, restorative resting state. By day 7, the true, heavy biological demolition phase begins. The thymoquinone molecules have fully saturated your deepest, oldest brain tissue and are aggressively binding to the decades-old hardened beta-amyloid plaques. You will begin to experience the joyous, tear-inducing return of rapid short-term recall. The terrifying, utterly embarrassing moments of standing frozen in the middle of the kitchen wondering what you were looking for will simply vanish from your life. You will effortlessly remember the names of new acquaintances with shocking, almost terrifying speed. You will easily recall phone numbers, massive grocery lists, and complex daily schedules without ever needing to write them down in a panic or ask your frustrated spouse for help. This is the physical toxic debris finally clearing out of your synaptic gaps. Your electrical signals are finally flowing freely again, unhindered by the sticky, toxic glue that held you back. By day 30, you are entering the profound, magnificent phase of deep, structural neurogenesis. Your brain's BDNF levels are now pumping at maximum youthful capacity. Your brain is physically, literally, growing new, dense, incredibly healthy tissue. This is when long-term memories, beautiful, vibrant things from your distant past you genuinely thought were permanently lost to the cruel ether of aging, will begin to spontaneously surface with crystal clear, intensely emotional detail. You will feel a profound, deeply emotional, overwhelming reconnection to your own life history and to the precious people around you. The crushing daily anxiety, the silent, isolating depression, the crippling, unspoken dread of losing your total independence and becoming a tragic burden to your children will be completely and permanently replaced by a massive surge of pure, unadulterated cognitive confidence. You will speak faster, you will think significantly sharper, and you will engage in highly complex problem solving with the exact same effortless, beautiful ease you had in your late 30s. You are no longer hopelessly managing decline and waiting for the terrible end in a locked room. You have permanently rewired your aging neural pathways and triumphantly, gloriously reclaimed your brilliant mind from the greedy, blood-stained clutches of a corrupt medical system. Do not let these massive corporations keep you in the dark, suffering in terrified silence for a single day longer. Take absolute, uncompromising control of your cognitive destiny tonight. If this undeniable biological truth has finally opened your eyes and given you a real, tangible reason for hope, you absolutely must subscribe to this channel immediately. The elite medical establishment is constantly aggressively trying to censor us, flag this channel, and take these truth-telling videos down to protect their profits. Subscribing ensures you never lose access to the hidden, perfectly biological, life-saving health secrets they are so absolutely desperate to bury forever. Check the description box directly below this video right now. I have rigorously vetted and linked the exact high-altitude, raw, organic Ethiopian black seeds, the perfect natural stone mortar and pestle, and the specific high MGO raw, unfiltered Manuka honey, you absolutely need to start this exact life-changing neuro protocol safely and effectively today. Do not wait until your precious, beautiful memories fade entirely into complete darkness. Take powerful action, protect your beautiful mind, and reclaim your entire life right now.